back again.
What's up, guys? We brought you to Lancaster Castle prison and we're going to go around the outskirts of it and do a little paranormal footage because this is where our Pendle witches finally were incarcerated before they were hung, and the witches' tower is still here.
Yeah.
So we're going to put Spirit Talker on, take a look around,
yeah,
and see if we get any communication.
Around, see what's...
There is a church at the back and a spooky graveyard.
That's the song, isn't it? Take a look around, let's see what's going down.
It's probably one of your songs, but I never heard of it personally. Anyway, let's go this way. So, yeah, Lancaster Castle, it's... Which way do you want to go round then?
Do this, see what...
Alright. Yeah, so this place, it only shut down 10 years ago from being a prison, to be honest. It's opened up as a museum now during the daytime.
There is a bit of the prison you can go into.
During the daytime, yeah.
I think, I don't know about now because I think they were just getting it up to like safety standards. But that was the only little bit.
But if you go in the daytime now, you can go all around it.
Yeah, yeah.
You can go at the modern bit that's only been shut for about 10 years or 12 years or something like that.
It's a great place, but the only problem with it inside
is this the witch's tower? I always get this one. So this tower here,
this what is here
in the basement, is where the witches were kept.
Are you frightened? No, I'm not actually.
Is that what it says on there?
Yeah, no.
Are you frightened?
No.
See, look at them windows bricked up there.
Well, it depends who's asking. If it's the people...
That's bricked up there, so that's an old window.
Yeah, this is... Am I frightened? Well, it depends who's asking. I mean, if it's the people who killed in this tower, the witches who were incarcerated here, no, I'm not frightened. If it's the judges and the people who meted out the injustice, yeah, I would be. At that time I would be frightened, but now I'm not frightened because there's nothing they can do.
No.
They can do things. But people are more tolerant of people's different way of lives, and they don't mind people. Women have a lot more voice than they did then. In that time, the main reason why these women, and mainly women, I mean there were men witches, but mainly women, were because they were strong, independent women with a bit of intelligence, and they had to be put down.
Yeah.
They had to be put in their places.
So the dungeon is below street level, guys, down there. So during the daytime, before Halloween, we're going to get in.
Knocking.
Well, maybe we're going to get some knocking. I thought I had a knock on that just then, but it's scaffolded in it, so you never know if stuff's blowing about on that. I might need you to do me a favour. Can you lift a torch out of my backpack, and then I can get some lighting around the back, because they've lit it up at the front, but I don't think it's going to be that well lit around the back, to be fair. There's a bit of scaffolding going on, guys, so it looks like they're doing some, preservation work and stuff, which they're always doing on these old buildings. You've got York Minster, it's the same. You've got Westminster, it's the same. They always have to be, looking after it and stuff, so occasionally we get to these really ancient buildings and there's scaffolding all over it. It was like the Sphinx in Egypt, I couldn't believe it. Talking aside now while I'm waiting for him to find a torch. The Sphinx in Egypt, it's always covered in scaffold. I've never seen it. I mean, I've been 3 times to that thing now, and I have not seen it once without the scaffold. So I'm thinking, are they just moving the scaffold around it, and then every time you go you think they're doing a bit more work, and they just don't take it away because the thing will probably fall down. Anyway, that's a different scenario, a different story. Have you got that torch? Yeah, I've got the torch. I think he's starting with dementia, guys, so we might have to start doing a few abandoned care homes, just to keep the theme going. No. How come you can't remember anything then, at all? What? Can I have that torch, please?
I've got 2
Oh,
torches.
you remembered that then. Alright, you're saved. Yeah, so they're obviously doing something. So let's go around the other side, because we've got the churchyard with a lot of ancient graves and stuff in that, and then we can show you the place where they used to do the public hangings, although the Pendle witches were not hung here. Why? What did you get up then? Anniversary? Yeah. August, wasn't it? Yeah. But it was Good Friday when they got arrested. That's this Friday coming.
This is Friday. So
I can hear voices. Is there something on at the church? Oh no, it's motorbikes. Doesn't that sound like people singing off key? It's motorbikes. Sounds like people singing, like, badly.
Move location, please.
Move location. Where do you want us to go?
Where do you want us to go then?
You tell us where you want us to go.
Up here, because this is supposedly where the other gallery.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so the lighting's pretty good here, so we don't need the torch right now.
Where do you want us to go?
Around here was the public hanging area. But apparently, according to the historians that work at this castle, the witches didn't get hung here because back then, in the 1600s, they were taken up to Gallows Hill, which is another part of Lancaster, and they were hung there, but there's been many people that have been hung here. See, there's a lot of scaffold going on. So they're renovated, they're keeping the brickwork in place, aren't they, and all of that. And I think we're better off going up the church steps because there's better lighting, better view, everything up there. There's a few spooky graves. You'll be able to see the hanging ditch from the... And I said hanging ditch then. You know that one in Manchester? Hanging ditch.
Yeah.
When you say it really quick, people say, what did you just say? Hanging ditch? That was another hanging area, but that's Manchester, that. There's people coming up. Why? Why the fuck do people have to come up and... Right, stand here. Wait till these people have gone. You can tell I've been out all day, guys. I'm starting to get seriously pissed off with people walking into our shops and flipping erupting our what we're doing and stuff. Normally I don't mind, but right now... What does it say? Yeah.
Saying that.
Where you going?
Saying that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't go around that way.
Knobs. Springs to mind. Go on.
Yeah, Friday would be Friday's Good Friday.
This
innit?
Friday
Yeah,
coming is, yeah.
But thank you for listening. Yeah, but a lot of the people who were hung were basically buried underground in this.
Yeah, they were.
Probably a lot of these car parks.
They're on
and
the
that
ditch, weren't they?
is basically what used to be. Well, there's probably bodies under here.
Yeah,
But
skeletons.
nobody gave a crap about them, did they?
No,
Probably
because they were
nobody-
just paupers, weren't they?
Nobody will know who they are.
No,
Nobody
no
will
gravestones.
ever know who they were. Nobody would really care.
They're just chucked in a pauper's pit, aren't they?
Yeah, they were just that were it. Once they were on, they were locked out.
The only people who could get graves were people who had money. That's why Alice Nutter got transferred back home with a grave, because her family had the money. They were landowners. It's always the case in every country, every culture, innit? You have the money, you can pay for what you want. You don't, you get thrown in the pauper's pit. You and me's going in the pauper's pit, mate. Stonehenge, yeah, that'd be a cool place to be buried.
It's an easy way to do it. Just go in and once you've lobbed me ashes, there's not a lot they can
Oh,
do.
so it's down to me.
Well, it depends on it.
Let's not get into this conversation right now when we're filming.
No. Anyway,
The graveyard.
if for whatever reason Alison can't do it.
You wanted your ashes sprinkled at Pendle the last time.
Breast ripper.
Hey? Breast ripper? You know what? They've got them in Lancaster Museum.
They've got them in.
They've got them in here. Breast rippers. They clamp them onto women's breasts and twist them to make them speak.
Yeah, we've had that.
I can't believe that's come up
Do you
here.
know where we had that?
York.
We had that up in Pendle.
Was it Pendle?
Yeah, we did. We had that.
That's
and it's
just
like-
insane, man. I mean, they have actually got on exhibition in the castle all the different torture things, instruments that they would have used, and the breast ripper. It's like like a nutcrackers, but massive ones, yeah. And they clamp them on. They used to clamp them onto women's breasts and twist them round so they were in
Basically,
pain
rip them off.
to make them admit that yes, they were witches.
I mean,
I can't believe that come up. That's just insane, isn't it?
Yeah, that's come up. That's come up before when we've been talking about them.
My home.
My home.
Are these? Is this one of the Pendle witches that we've got through, please? Can you give us your name? It's just the way this conversation is going leads me to think it's...
I mean,
There is music coming from there. I wasn't
Yeah,
imagining it after all. I thought, see, my imagination...
Died.
she died.
Who died?
Yeah, I know she did. She died in there.
Oh, Elizabeth Sutton did die in there.
She died before she nice trail.
Yeah, she did.
Inching away.
Oh, that's where them two guys were going. They were going into the church. I'm sorry now, I called them knobs. Well, I didn't call them to the faces. I just thought, kind of thoughtfully out loud said the word, because you know what, I was filming and they walked straight into the shot. So straight away you're going to think knobs, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Now they've gone to church and that makes me feel guilty.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you go in there during the day, you can't film.
No, you can't because it's a court.
And it's...
But would you be able to film the Witch's Tower though?
That's the point. I would imagine the jail bit
Yeah.
and I presume it's. I would imagine it's just the court bit that you can't film.
Yeah, maybe.
I would have thought so.
Well, we're going to be coming back up. We're in the middle of our Pendle Witch project right now. And we've shot 3 programmes already. We're just going to get them edited up, and then the Lancaster Castle bit is going to be right at the end, isn't it? Where it comes to the death of them.
Anxiety.
Why have you got anxiety? Because we've come back to Lancaster Jail. Yeah, they used to bring them out there, didn't they? Yeah. Because they've got that chair, haven't they, made specially for that lady to hang her because she was so weak she couldn't stand. But then James Device was also so weak he couldn't stand, because I think they tortured him, and they wasn't meant to torture people in those days, but they did, because all the flipping implements are on display in there, aren't they?
Yeah, but one of them bit there.
Yeah.
The others scare me.
The others scare you. Who scares you?
Who scares you?
Maybe they were locked in the dungeon with some other people, you know, that they didn't know they were strangers, and perhaps they were a bit unsavoury characters, because in them days, you know, guys, they used to throw them all in the same dungeon, which was probably 8 feet by 4 or something like that, for 3 or 4 months, and then other people get thrown in, other people get thrown in, and by the time the judge came, because they were called circuit judges, and that means they would go to York, then they go to Lancaster, then they go to Carlisle. When they came around to doing the court cases, there could be a dozen people all locked up.
Not only that, you could get some young little kid, you know, of about 8 or 9, who stole a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
In the same room, in the same cell, as some psychopathic serial killer.
Yeah.
You know, so there's only going to be one outcome of that, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
You know, and these kids were, once they were in, because obviously you had to pay for being in there.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. They charged you for your bed and board.
And you had to pay that.
And if you paid more money, you got better food, like you'd get a pie or something if you had a bit more money.
Yeah, if you paid more money to the guard, you'd have an easier life, but
that's why
they
people
just didn't
like
have that. So that's why people were in there for crimes that were next to nothing. That's why they were in there for like years and years and years and years and years, because they couldn't afford to pay the way, and they were in debt by actually they went in prison for a crime of stealing a loaf of bread. You know, these days the police wouldn't even bat an eyelid at it. Stone. Yeah, they wouldn't even bat an eyelid at it, but then some kid could be in prison for like 20 or 30 odd years because they couldn't pay the way out.
Yeah, it's true. That's why people like Francis Drake and Walter Raleigh had, like, the jail cell in the town of London, it's like a 4-poster bed and all velvet cushioned sofas and stuff like that in it, and gold gilt-edged tables, because they could afford to have that stuff while they were in there. They had big roasting fires and good food.
Yeah.
Because they had the money.
I think if you go up them steps, you can walk around the edge up there.
Oh, can we? Alright, let's do that then.
Spirit walk.
Yeah, just keep the spirit talker on.
Spirit walk.
Does it say spirits walk?
Spirit walk.
Well, you just said let's go up top, didn't you?
Yeah.
So maybe spirits walk around that bit up there then?
If you walk in steps, you can walk around the
Alright.
Oh,
okay. Alright, let's do that then. And we've got the Ouija board here too, guys, so when we find a suitable place, We'll probably just set that up and see if we can get anything. It's a very haunted place, isn't it? This, it goes back centuries. This place and York, Minster and the Tower of London are all sort of roughly the same age, because I can hear that music. Is it coming from here? There's music coming from here. How is the music? Somebody's working nights. Yeah, this is why people play panpipes and things, isn't it? Because you get musical notes out of it. And like, if you think about most of the musical instruments, flute and all that, they're all pipes, aren't they? With wind going through. Aren't they nice though? It sounds like a real musical tune, that. I think it is. Oh, I don't know, it seems a bit far. The church is back there, isn't it? So, Spirits Walk here. Could you give us your name, please?
What you did?
What did you do? See, how do we know we didn't parade the prisoners round here so that everyone could get a good view of them before they put them on the rope, the gallows?
What did you do? Can you tell me what you did? Because supposedly when you die, so all your crimes are absolved. So surely.
Well, think about it though.
What did you do?
They would have had spectators and everything here for the hangings and all that lined up, ready to watch, you know. So maybe.
Watching.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they used to do, guys. Irene? No, what's she doing here?
I was about to say it could have been the hangman, but
Well, she could probably throw crutches at someone or zimmers. Yeah, she could probably cause some damage. Anyway, yeah, so they used to bring the kids and they used to bring food. They used to have a picnic. They'd sit down there and they'd watch and wait, and then as soon as the person came out to be hung, they'd all stand up cheering and applauding, and they'd wait and they'd watch the hanging, and then when they finished, they all used to try and grab bits of the rope as a souvenir gift to take home. And that's where you get the same money for old rope. They'd pay like a penny for a piece of the hanging rope to take home. And it was like a souvenir gift. They used to sell souvenirs in France.
that's like it was a big hanging.
If there was a guillotine in, there was people out there selling little miniature guillotines that you could wear on a chain around your neck, a souvenir gift.
Yeah.
It's unreal, innit? It was a day out. A day out.
I'd have bought one of them.
Well, if one turns up in an antique shop, especially in Paris.
Seriously, I'd have bought a
Yeah, because when I've read like French literature, Hugo and all that, and Dumas and stuff, I can't remember which book it was now, but one of them said they were selling guillotine necklaces on a chain as a souvenir for somebody who got guillotined.
I know that sounds a bit weird, but I mean, I can imagine.
There's a lot of sayings come from that time of hanging, like pulling my leg. That comes from that. Because when a person, well, you know, come on, Andy, you can say this one.
Somebody famous like that. The other
My family is here.
That's got to be the pendulum witch, isn't it?
When it was normal, they had the gallows and everything like that. They used to have it where the old family, they used to measure the size of the body and how far it needed to drop. So when it was, you had a trapdoor, you opened the trapdoor, the body went down, and it was
Yes, I will.
and the neck broke straight away. When it was these like they did the gallows, basically they were all stood on a bench. The next thing they kicked the bench off, and obviously they didn't drop far enough, so they basically hung. They basically hung themselves. So whereas if it was a drop like that through the trapdoor, the neck would break, they'd be dead within a minute. When they did that, they basically could be wriggling about. It could be 15, 20 minutes before that. So that was like that. Pulling your leg is where members of the family get their arms around the body, and as soon as the bench where they would pull up.
Yeah.
So they died instantly.
Did you get brother then?
Brother.
So maybe the Talking James device, that would have been the brother.
Is he a brother?
If this is the Pendle Witches, because they all ended up here. So it's possible that the messages we've had so far seem significant to the Pendle Witches, don't they?
We had anniversary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which they all got arrested on Good Friday from Pendle Hill, apart from Alison and her grandmother were already in jail here, but the others got arrested on Good Friday. I can hear very heavy feet down there. It sounds like Frankenstein. Is it somebody dragging a case? Oh, it's someone dragging a case. It sounds like there was someone dragging the feet. God, it's Lurcher Frankenstein, isn't it? It's very windy around this bit, isn't it? We need to find a place we can do Ouija. Let's just call out a bit more first. Do you want to do it? Is it too windy for EVP, do you think, this bit? Alright. So we need a bit more information off you, please. Could you give us a name of a person, a spirit person that's here?
Can you, if you can you give us your last name? Or his name? His near to your last name, just speak through this. You don't have to. I understand that some of you couldn't read or write.
We're not bad.
No, you're not
No,
bad.
we know you're not bad. We know that you were wrongfully arrested.
No, you can't. Some of you couldn't spell. That's how life was then. But you just have to speak through this disguise. You don't or anything like that. You just talk.
People are trying to get your names cleared at the minute. It's even on the Parliament in London right now. You know, to try and get this lifted that you were accused of witchcraft.
You were innocent of. You weren't guilty of doing anything.
It was just the situation, weren't it, that led up to it?
Well,
Which we're telling the story gradually through the Pendle Witch project.
beard. Is that my beard or yours? Can you see? Can you see me? Would you like to maybe pull it?
Yeah, go on, pull on his beard.
Yeah.
Or show yourself around him, an orb if you can.
How do you like it? Would have been the sort of thing that you would have been impressed by, because it's a bit different. Wouldn't it? No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. Marjorie.
No, Vikings plaited the beards, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was the
So,
fashion that
yeah,
came from the Viking.
Well,
I think they were into the Shakespearean beard back then. That was like the style,
oh
wasn't it?
yeah, the pointy.
But
Marjorie.
I don't know if there's any Marjorie.
know
There was a lady hung here, but I can't. The one they made the chair for. Can you remember her name? Is that an owl? Oh my God! Please let them be owls. I don't think they are, because you only get one on its own usually, don't you? You don't get a few like that.
Yeah.
We've probably disturbed the roost again. They're very good at disturbing the roost, aren't we?
Very good at that.
So I think we should go back to the churchyard.
I can see.
This is all scaffolded up, this bit here, innit? Do you want to go back this way, or do you want to go round again?
We'll go back down that way because we've come past that tower.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, if you want. So the whole of this area is old, guys. The houses. There's a judge's chambers and lodgings further down. But there's a few pubs nearby, so it's Saturday night and we're not going to go that way because we're going to get bad sound quality and stuff. If the people are out, students and that, are having a few beers tonight, then we're going to pick up a lot of background noise.
People can't hear you.
It is a good place for a night out, this Lancaster, it really is. We've been here many, many times. There's some good old pubs too. There's the Merchants down there, which is 1666, I think, or something. And it was the cellars belonging to this place, weren't it, apparently, at one point?
Yeah. No, was it here or was it the Mariners?
The Ancient Mariners down there. The Jolly Mariners.
Beverly.
These are modern names. But don't forget, this only stopped being a prison about 12 years ago. It's like Shrewsbury. And the other one, Shepton Manor, you can just go in and look round now because they've only been shut like a decade or so. So these modern names could be either people who worked here or... It was a male prison, weren't it, this one? Don't think... Was there a female wing? I can't remember, to be honest. We need to do the tour again and talk to the guides, don't we?
You would still have had female officers.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. So this Beverly and this Marjorie could be people that work. They would have had a cafeteria and stuff. The cooks and that might have been female. So
Did I hear you?
if we get a quiet area, we need to run EVP. Do you want to run the EVP by the Witch's Tower?
Yeah, it's quite cool.
All right. So it's in my backpack. It's in that little zip where I usually put it. Well, so we're just setting up the EVP. I'll just tell you a little bit more about Lancaster and Lancaster Castle. Yeah, so the witches, 2 of them were already incarcerated here in sort of earlier on in the year. I think it was, when did Alice and Device get arrested, Andy? Can you remember what month it was? The rest of the family got arrested on Good Friday, and they all got brought. Well, first they got took to Skipton Castle for a night on the way, and then they got brought here, and they were all thrown into the same dungeon, and they were there till August, so they were there for like 4 months. And by the time the circuit judge, because the circuit judge used to go from London up to York up to Newcastle probably up to Edinburgh and across to Glasgow, and then down to Carlisle, and then finally here. So it could be 6, 7, 8 months. Have you got it? Yeah. And they had to wait for the judge to come, so we were in here 4 months before the actual trial started. Andy's got the EVP recorder now, so we're going to see if we can get any witches coming through. Actually, it's a good one, isn't it? The Pendle witches, if they're here, they can try and make. I'll keep quiet now if you're recording.
Okay.
Sun.
Is there any of the people who were involved in the witch trials who were incarcerated here who'd like to talk to us, who'd like to tell us your story? I know it's very painful. But we want to know.
Cement shoes.
What did it say?
Cement shoes.
Maybe that's something they did back then. We don't know everything, do we?
Can you tell us your name if there's any of you here? How do you feel about people trying to...
I'm standing right here.
How do you feel about people trying to clear your name? People who are fighting for you to clear your names. The fact that you were wrongly convicted and killed. Do you know you don't have to stay here any longer? Now you've passed on. You can move away from this place.
Shall I listen it back?
How do you feel about place now?
Man.
Is there anything you want to say to us? Can you give us a message?
Son.
Is there any of the people involved in the witch trials who were incarcerated here who'd like to talk to us, who'd like to tell us a story? I know it's very painful. But I want to know.
Cement shoes.
Cement shoes. Can you tell us
Dog.
if there's any here? How do you feel about people trying to?
I'm standing right here.
How do you feel about people trying to clear your name?
Love.
People who
Did I say love?
to clear your names.
So they love the people that's trying to clear the names.
Find that you were wrongly convicted
We have spoke
and
before.
killed.
It all sounds like the Pendle Witches to me, this.
Do you know you don't have to stay here any longer? Now you've passed on. You can move away from this place. How do you feel about this place now?
Man.
Is there anything you want to say to us?
They're all piling out of the church now, by the
We
way.
have spoke before.
Did you get anything?
There's a couple of things. I'd like
Do you want to walk back round here? Because they're all piling out of the church now. We're going to get tangled up with the God Squad in a minute. I'm going to walk back round here, Andy. I'll see you around the other side. You listen it back though while you've got some quiet. Doors are so old. These are all the original doors, these guys. This is actually the newer bit round here. This bit. Well, that bit there is anyway. This bit is probably older. You can tell by the stone changes. That flat dark grey stone is like sort of 1800s. This, where it's all mismatched and different coloured brick, tends to be more sort of 1600s, but that with the cross there in the window is where the archers would have fired the bow and the arrow out of. Is like, gives you an idea of how old this particular bit is. So the building itself can give you a lot of clues to the age. That's the original entrance in, where we did the opening. But these, it was probably an actual castle long before it was a prison, like a real, you know, fortress type place. And then I guess they just started taking in prisoners and Eventually it became a prison. All castles really have, you know, dungeons and stuff where they used to keep their enemies locked up. So I think that's why in England a lot of castles did eventually become HMP, Her Majesty's prisons. It's His Majesty's prisons now. HMP, Her Majesty's prison or His Majesty's prison. A lot of buildings, castles in Britain, a lot of the jails were castles, but now because of human rights and all that, they've built new prisons and they've opened these ones up to the public. But this one, Lancaster, it's got 3 courtrooms inside it, still functioning courtrooms. So for that reason, we're only allowed to film in certain areas. Still getting messages. Beatrice, that's another female name. That's the 3rd woman's name we've had down this particular bit. I'm wondering if they used to walk the women prisoners from here up to the gallows. Because we've had 3, and really, they would have paraded them round here, so the people down there could have had a good jeer and throw things and shout. They would have brought them out, I think, from the front entrance and walked them all the way up here. You know, and then the good old public down there could have their say and make things already worse than what they already were. Because it was Charles Dickens who put campaign to get the public hanging stopped, and Thackeray, the other writer. '50s. Yeah, 1850s guys. The writers, Charles Dickens, actually came up here to Lancaster. Thackeray, who wrote Vanity Fair, got together, and they both went to a public hanging in London together. And they was absolutely appalled that the people were allowed to watch and jeer and laugh and throw things and collect souvenirs. So the 2 of them then set out on a campaign, especially Charles Dickens, to get the prisons improved and to get this public hanging stopped, and they did. They took it to Parliament and they succeeded. So not only for writing his books, Charles Dickens is famous for other things too. It even feels haunted around this passage. I don't know if it's because there's a lamp out, that might be why it's darker. But it has a feel, doesn't it? It has a very creepy feel around that bit there. It goes like, you know when you get that shivery, not from cold, but from being not comfortable. I think it has that feeling there. Church bells. Yeah, well, they were ringing a few minutes ago for, I don't know what the time is, but on the hour, weren't it?
Yeah.
The people are coming out of the church now too, so... where do you want to do the Ouija board? Can't really go in the churchyard, can we, if people's coming out? We can't really go down there, there's people sat on steps. Where do you want to... Back round here? I think it's pretty creepy around this bit here, to be fair. The lighting's not good because that lamp's out. But it's windy though, that's the only thing, isn't it? But is there not something down there we can go up, put the Ouija board on, something flat? Because there's some Roman ruins around here as well, you know, somewhere. Can't exactly remember where now, because me and Psychic Jane wants to come up here to have a look.
Yes, you did.
And we found them, but they're back there somewhere. There was some kids sat on the steps there enjoying a takeout, so we don't really want to disrupt what they're doing. What about the lamp there? I was going to say we could put the board on this corner. There's a lamp there. We just need a flat surface, don't we, really? Oh, that kid's moved on now. That was the kid that was sat on the steps. Let's just get round here and see how windy it is. Rose, another woman's name. That's 4 women that have come through.
A lot of women. Yeah.
We won't be able to do Ouija board because the battery's going to go in a minute anyways. Well, we've done what we can here tonight. We'll have to come back, won't we?
We've got plenty of stuff on there.
Alright guys, so I think because we're so busy walking around looking at the place, we've
Yeah.
lost time, and we haven't got time to do the Ouija board right now, so we can't do everything on every shoot
Well, no.
until we get new cameras and when we get
No, we don't.
with more battery
Oh.
life.
I don't
yeah.
like talking.
You've
Oh.
said it plenty to say I don't like talking, and there's all them messages.
A bit like now.
It's not your mum, is it? I don't like talking, there's like 1,000 messages.
No, she's been going on.
Her name hasn't come through anyway.
No, not yet.
Alright guys, so we're going to say goodnight from Lancaster Castle, and we'll see you really soon. Thanks for watching,
see you
guys.
soon.
Thanks for subscribing. Now, like and subscribe. Come
Yeah.
on, you know you want to. Come on now, like and subscribe. See you guys soon.
See you later.